Really good practice today. Very physical. Um, in all candor, man, I woke up this morning and very anxious to get it because we had this marked as a day that was going to be an extremely physical practice, and you just always keep your fingers crossed that when you do that, you're preparing your team, and when you leave there, you still have everyone pretty healthy, and didn't see anyone that suffered anything today. So we got a lot of great work in live situations and third downs and red zone and tight red zone. So it was very physical. Went back and forth, good competition between both offense and defense, and it's about as well as I can leave feeling a practice. I'm leaving that one feeling that way. Typically, I leave thinking, gosh, our defense stunk today, or gosh, our offense stunk today, and it's hard to feel great, but today I saw some really good things on both sides.
Anybody consistently impressing you so far through 2 weeks?
Fadal Brown, Isaac Gross, Mike Hilton, Trey Elston, all of those guys are leading our defense like they should. Offensively, Evan Ingram's a really good leader. We're still, Jalen Walton's had some really exciting runs, limiting his reps somewhat. Strings had a really good camp, and those kind of stand out on the offensive side. Robert Conyers is doing well. Vaughn Cooper's had a really good camp too.
How have your quarterbacks responded in 11-on-11 in those type of situations?
Gosh, same thing, right now. I mean, I kind of have in my mind who's the leader right now after, I guess this was practice 12, based on the totality of what we've seen. But you give, if your spectrum is just one practice, like leaving there today, I have some mixed feelings. So we'll see if what I'm feeling inside continues to be, over the course of camp leading up to the game one. We'll see if that continues to be verified and validated by practices. Today wasn't quite enough validation for me to say I'm all the way there yet. I have to go watch the film and see. I usually feel probably a little bit different after I watch the film.
What is that person doing to put himself number one, and what's he not doing to not completely validate it?
Making over the course of the 12 practices, he's handled blitzes better, which that may be the ultimate. That's one of the top things you got to look at in a quarterback is how does he handle that. Is that a time where the ball comes out carelessly, or is it a time where you're setting the protections right and getting yourself protected to make a throw, standing in there, taking a hit, taking care of the ball, obviously, and then, being efficient in moving the chains. And over the course of 12 practices, I think I know who's done that better, and I've watched closely on the field and in film. And then today, you get another guy that maybe elevated himself a little bit, leaving the practice today. But, again, it'll keep playing itself out, and I'll get the right gut feel.
Do you plan to still take it all the way into the season, or could you name a star before then?
I don't know. Right now, I would say at earliest it would be game week.
What have you seen so far that would indicate that the run game is improving from last year?
Just the lessening of negative plays. We've had a few explosive runs, but in this league, that typically is not something you live and die by. But it's those that get you off schedule where you can't. You get behind the chains, those -2s, -1s, -3s, and right now I don't see many of those at all. We're getting the +1s, +2s, dirty runs, as we call them, and keeping us somewhat on schedule.
On that same note, what kind of camp has Akeem had so far?
Let's see, we went live last Saturday, I believe. My days run together, and he would have been the highlight of that scrimmage. I mean, the way he ran the ball, very physical, and part of it was tight red zone, and he really made some physical runs.
How are y'all handling right guard right now with Rod out, and what's his situation?
Bale's rotating in there along with several others. I mean, Tyler Putnam and Jordan Sims, and Aaron looks like he's going to be released to go starting tomorrow, hopefully. So that'll give us another one there. And Durante is also in the mix. So, Rod's rehab looks good. Looks like he's he's got a lot more strength now than you would think he would, so we're optimistic that he's gonna be able to recover and get ready to play.
How tough